Board game reviews are a scam. Did you know that when a reviewer says a game is good, that's just their opinion? I'm sorry, I actually wanted to know what I would think of the game.
This small child bought 30 games because a popular channel said they were good, and he didn't like any of them. And now his parents are getting divorced. They don't have to put up with this in other hobbies. Here's a book review I found that manages to maintain objectivity.
Hello lovelies, today is my review of A Tale of Two Cities. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief.
It's time to put the U back in the word review. This will be the world's first unbiased, objective board game review. First of all, before I do anything else, I need to share some personal bias because it could throw everything off. I hate melon.
Bias.
It just doesn't have enough flavour. It's like eating a mango that's at death's door.
Everything you see and hear from now on needs to be viewed in that context. If I say something about dice, please keep in the back of your mind that I hate melon. They both have pips. I mean, one of them has too many pips, but I promised I wouldn't make this about melon.
I can't actually tell you the real name of the game I'm reviewing because your brain would immediately compare it to a very successful game and bias the whole video. So I'll be referring to it as Sad Town. First, let's deal with ethics. You will know that this review is ethically sound when you hear this ethically sound.
Ethically! As a reviewer, it's important to declare conflicts of interest in case they influence your review. But that's more for other reviewers because I'm not suggestible at all. But I will quickly state that I was sent Sad Town for free by the handsome designer.
And that's how easy it is. You won't have spotted it, it's imperceptible to a layperson. But I complimented the designer on his looks.
The handsome designer.
Because I've profited financially from him.
To understand this, we have to look at the effect it has on my mind.
Crikey, Master Isaac has given me a great gift. I must repay him by giving him a good review.
It's not enough to just declare the bias, I have to kill it. I tried to give the money back, but that didn't work.
Ain't nothing so rewarding as a charitable donation. Warms the cockles of one's heart, it does. Helps me ignore any flaws this game might have.
So I did the only thing I could do. I took the value of the game from my bank account and I burnt the money.
Oh, 40 quid? But I wanted to buy a new wheelbarrow for my chimney sweep business. Master Isaac will pay for this. I'll ruin him.
And there it is. Perfect. Some healthy journalistic resentment. Remember, for reviewers, there's no such thing as negative bias. That's where honesty comes from.
But it's not enough. As a reviewer, my relationship with publishers is important. It's in my interest to keep them happy so that they'll send me games in the future.
Please, mister, I only want some new games. I promise I'll say nice things about them, I will.
For this review to have any chance of objectivity, I can't be in bed with them any longer. I have to burn those bridges. And that bed.
I will achieve this by personally attacking the publisher on Twitter. Dear Isaac, you have the impact of a blueberry. Dear Isaac, I hacked your passwords and I just have to say they were really unimaginative. Dear Isaac, if you broke your finger, I would ask you, which finger? This one, and then pull on the finger you broke under the guise of being stupid. The trouble with a burnt bridge, famously, is that it can be rebuilt. Not this one. I have scheduled my Twitter account to send Isaac aggressive tweets morning and night, so that even the rejuvenative powers of dinner don't inspire him to forgive me.
Ethically!
Don't accept reviews from channels that aren't willing to go to these lengths. Until Tom from Shut Up and Sit Down challenges the Hasbros to a fist fight, I'm not interested.
Now, let's move to my review process. I would normally play games for review in my living room at home.
Which is a terrible idea. I love my flat. It's where I keep my ice cream. How can I see a game for what it really is, with my mind clouded by positivity?
Cool, blimey, this game ain't half convoluted. Still, I shan't mind if Miss Peggotty lets us try another cured cream from the continent.
I did the only thing I could do. I played the games outside. I faced the same problem with my fellow players. I enjoy the company of my wife. That's bias.
Bias.
So instead, I found a random man on the street to play with me. It was challenging. He refused to buy into the lore of the universe in which the game is set, and proved to be something of an alpha gamer. Now that I've played the game under proper journalistic conditions, I'm ready to tell you about Sad Town. But you're not. If I spoke to you about this game in English, you would be seduced by the poetic language I learned while studying at the University of the West of England. It wouldn't be your fault. It is, after all, the 64th best university in the country.
To demonstrate this bias, we'll be looking at the mind of a typical Actualol fan, Ricky Rodriguez. Hi Ricky, thanks for coming on.
Hey John, I'm excited to be here. You're the best channel on YouTube.
Well, I don't know about that. Your words, not mine, Ricky.
This is what happens in a viewer's mind when they watch one of my reviews.
Gee willikers, he sure talked pretty some. I'ma buy any game that comes out of his mouth, that's for dang sure.
To kill the bias, I have run my words through Google Translate to remove the artistry. I have changed them from English to Chinese to Swahili and back to English.
Which gives us, this law book is a good friend of bleeding over its size.
It's unbiased language like that we need printed on board game boxes. I've emailed the publisher, Isaac, to ask if he'll commit to this, but he's not replying to my emails for some reason.
Now that we've got rid of all of the bias, it's time for me to share with you what I can objectively tell you about Sad Town. It's a game.
I'm glad that you found this review useful. The only way we can have objective, unbiased criticism is with channels that are independently funded. My reviews are funded on Patreon by great people such as René Lazare, Duncan Cowan, and Isaac,